how you doing? Welcome to Garden Fork Radio. Thanks for downloading the show. It's me and Nicole. We're talking about friend curation, trying new things, and buying tires.
I mean, could it be any more eclectic?
Yeah. Friend curation. Now let's talk about buying tires.
Do you want to do tires first?
No, we'll do that last so people will stick around and listen to my ad about a newsletter or Amazon.
That's awesome. Okay, I'm here for it. Well, it's funny. So we all know I turned 50, and I had a good friend years ago when he turned 50. He did this thing where he just offloaded some friends that weren't additive anymore. And I mean, not in a mean way, but he just had realized that they weren't contributing to his life, let's say. Okay. And I thought that was crazy. I was like, listen, friends don't grow on trees. That's not my MO, right? I'm one of those people. I guess on average, people can have 50 close friends at most. And I'm a super friender.
Yes, you are.
I don't know. There must be a word for that. So I did not think that I would ever reach that stage in my life. But I have to tell you, I hit some kind of a wall, and I spent yesterday deleting people from my phone.
Wow.
And I usually keep everybody. And I was just like, you know what? I have a lot of really good friends who really love me and would go to the mat for me. And the ones that won't, I'm okay with letting go. It's nothing mean. It's not malicious. It's just that's okay.
Yeah, it works for me. I call it the 2 or 3 strike rule. I reach out to people once or twice, maybe 3 times. And if I don't hear back, I'm like, okay, bye. And
right.
The camera operator is where she works, and she's one of the experts or whatever on this. It's this Clifton Strengths, which I'm going to get her on the podcast to talk about it. But it shows what you're good at and what your strengths are, so you can work better with other people. And she said I'm a reacher outer or a connector or something. I have friends who will not reach out to me. I always reach out to them. And for some of them, I'm fine with that because I just know that they're kind of introverted. But for some of them, I'm like, look, I'm only going to try so much, and then I'm going to walk on.
Yeah, I mean, I remember my mom years ago, Linda always said, if you want to receive mail, you have to send mail. And that's kind of how I feel about relationships at this point too. It's got to be a two-way street, not just one person giving, because then it's not really a friendship. Then it's something else. I'm not sure what the word is, but that's not what I'm interested in. And, a couple months ago, I had something happen and I was ruminating about it and I was thinking about it. And finally I was like, instead of ruminating about this person who's upset you, why don't you call some of your dear friends that you haven't spoken to and reconnect with them, Because when you have kids and, life gets in the way, it's not like it was an intentional drifting apart, but it happened. And I ended up calling a really good old friend. She and her husband ended up coming to visit a month later. And now we're back in texting contact, and I'm really pleased about that. That's really additive, I don't know. I guess I'd be interested to hear whatever all the listeners think about that. It's been very enlightening or freeing for me. I feel better.
I have a best friend from middle school who my other friends convinced me I should not hang out with because of his sexual orientation. And so I did. I iced him, and I realized after, years later that was a really horrible thing to do. And so I reached out to him, and now we have a text relationship. He comes to New York sometimes, and I see him and his partner, and I've apologized several times for being a complete jerk to him. And I think we both moved on from that. And and I have another friend who 10 years ago was driving me up the wall. So I just didn't interact with him anymore. And then it became 10 years we hadn't seen each other. and I heard through the grapevine that his wife had died. And I called him right away, and he says, "Well, if you want to come over, you can come over." And he was just gray. I mean, his face was gray. And I just sat in the kitchen with him for a couple hours while he smoked cigarettes. And now we see each other every week. So you can rekindle those too. So
That's also a good, yeah, that's totally a valid point. Well, um, good job for
but
apologizing.
there's
I feel
also
like,
the toxic friend thing.
yeah, the toxic friend.
I mean, I have a friend who has an addiction problem, and I know addiction is really hard, and rather than scorning, you should try and help. But at a certain point, you're trying to help, and you're being dragged down into it. And I'm not saying addiction. Maybe an addiction isn't the greatest example here, but
But I think that you're bringing up setting boundaries, and
yeah.
I think that's good. Now that can backfire if you're a parent raising a child and you're trying to get them to go to a Model UN conference. And let's say you tell them that their buddies are going, and the other mom tells the other kid that the buddies are going, and they still don't want to go, and you tell them that the kid's going. And then your child, who knows about consent, goes to his Model UN meeting and says, "My parents did not have consent to have me go to the conference. We're not going." So he comes home. Otis comes home, tells me he's not going to the Model UN conference. And I'm like, well, okay. Like, I don't know what to do. I text the other mom who's a little more hardcore, and she's like, "Oh no, my kid's going." And I was like, "Otis, are you really going to like leave your buddy hanging like this? Are you really not going to go?" So Otis is going, but he's not happy about it.
Oftentimes when I don't want to do something like that, and then I go, I'm like, "Oh, that was kind of fun."
That is what I think is going to happen. I think the kid's going to love it. But convincing people that they're going to love something is harder.
Yeah. So now I'm thinking about this more, and I have some kind of sort of friends, and if I don't hear from them for like 3 months, I'll text them and go, "Are you alive?" You know.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to rekindle this best buddy thing, but I recently did that with a friend of mine in our little our neighborhood upstate, and he was like, "Oh yeah, we went to Europe for 3 months."
Wow.
I was like, "Oh great."
That's fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh.
I hope he didn't look at the news.
Just took a break. Here's a break.
I don't blame him. Not at all.
Not at all. I'm here for it.
So
Let's take a
are
break.
you continuing to curate, or are you done with the curation?
No, I'm good now. I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. I feel like I'm at a good place. When Brent and I first started dating finally years ago, I made him a friend chart of all of my friends and when I met them and how I met them. And it was a timeline. It was quite fun. It was a fun project to do, and it was fun, to kind of think back through everybody. Um, I guess I could revise that now. But so yeah, I think I'm at a good spot right now.
Yeah, I didn't make the camera operator a friend chart, even though we've been together many, many years now. We'd be watching something, or we'll have a conversation with someone that prompts me to remember an experience I had before I met her, and the stories are still coming out that she has never heard.
I love that. That's so
And
fun.
they're like, "You did what?" It was New York.
I
It
think,
was New York, and I was 20 years old, and we were in the East Village, you know?
and it was fun. Um, I think my kids are pretty convinced that I was a spy at one time, which I was not, for the record. But I'll come out with similar things like, "Oh yeah, that happened when I worked at the gas station." "You worked at the gas station?" Like, "Oh, that happened when I was teaching a kid how to ski. I was a ski instructor." "You were a ski instructor?" I can go on. I've had like almost every job, but there was a job that I came across the other day that I had never had, and I was like, may have to try that. What was it? Anyway, it'll come to me.
Wow. I talked about this on the previous podcast, which is actually releasing today while we record this. But I've gotten hooked on this guy who is drives the kind of tow truck that rescues semi trucks that have gone off the road.
Oh God.
It's got this giant crane and it rotates, and it's his family run company, and he straps a GoPro to his chest and just works and narrates what he's doing. And they usually have two or three of these wreckers on a job. And I was like, I want to learn how to run one of those things.
That's awesome. I would watch those videos for sure.
Your kids might like them. They can. One of them is an hour long, and I did other things while it was. I exercised and I did some other stuff, and I bumped it up to 1.5 speed. But a semi truck, it's called a rotator because the boom will rotate on the truck. You've seen them on the highway, and that's kind of it. That kind of fulfills all Eric's dreams of driving large vehicles, being able to have a boom to move big things. You know.
Yeah, no, I've always wanted to drive a monster truck for similar reasons.
Oh wow.
I think that would be so much fun.
I'm sure you can do it. I'm sure there's an experience.
Yes, there's some place you can go, and yeah.
It's like that. There are places where they target, middle-aged men with a bucket list, but you can go run backhoes and payloaders and bulldozers. The guy has like 5 acres and a bunch of machines, and you can just go, "Rrr,"
That's awesome. Yeah, my in-laws did the thing where they got to go drive F1
Oh
cars.
yeah,
That was a highlight. That was a bucket list thing, and they really, really, really enjoyed it. Yeah.
that's yeah. They must do some teaching ahead of time because that machine.
I know they're really fast. This is not a drill. Well, kind of along the lines of this, of trying new things, I am trying a pretty big new thing next week. I'm going to Vieques in Puerto Rico, and I am running with my friend Cindy our first writing retreat.
Oh
So we
great,
have 5 other women coming, and we're going to be there for the week, working on our different projects at this beautiful house. Um, Villa Chavanac has 7 rooms, 6.5 baths, and a pool.
nice.
We have a yoga instructor coming with us. But the other night, I woke up kind of in a sweat. Like, what am I thinking? What am I doing? Like, you can't just like run a like writing retreat. What do you know about writing? What do just like that moment of like, I have no clue what I'm doing. Then I was like, well, first of all, nothing ever gets fixed in the middle of the night. So
Yeah.
if it's an actual problem, wait for the morning. Um, and then I think it's going to go great. And my Cindy, my friend, who's my partner, she and I have been, writing friends for 15 years now. And she's going to chef for us. And then her friend, Monica, is coming and she's going to do yoga with us. And she's also working on a writing project. I think it's going to be great. But
Wow.
I definitely had that moment of panic.
But you push through it.
Yeah.
Is there going to be a schedule of like, okay, quiet time is from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. or something?
Yeah. So all the rooms have desks. And so the idea is, I think, 3 chunks throughout the day. So there'll be breakfast and yoga in the morning, and then a chunk of writing. And then lunch is kind of a buffet style, like come grab a sandwich, grab a salad, keep it moving. And then another chunk in the afternoon. And then in the evening, we're going to have like drinks and charcuterie and sharing of your writing if you're interested. Sometimes people like to share their pages, some people don't. Either way, it's fine. And if you don't want to share, that's fine. Grab a glass of wine or grab a drink and go do some more work out on the veranda or in your room or whatever. And then Cindy has used AI in a way that is I think, pretty smart. She put in the menu, and AI was able to create a shopping list for us because we're going to buy most of the stuff at Costco on the way to the island because there's not a lot on the
Right.
island for shopping wise. So that was pretty slick. Um, yeah, I'm excited. I think it's going to be good, but of course it's the first time you're doing anything, so some things might go sideways. The house is gorgeous. It belongs to friends of ours who are giving us an incredibly good
Oh,
deal.
nice.
Yeah, which is really, really nice. And um, yeah, I think it's going to go really well. But definitely was there is that moment of like panic.
My friend,
Have we thought about
my
everything?
friend
Go ahead.
Gabe, who's just on the podcast, the Save It for Parts channel, he rented an ocean-rated boat, and he and his sister, who is a pilot on the Columbia River,
Oh, wow.
running giant tugboats, they brought five of their friends. It was them and five, so seven people total. On it looked like a decent sized boat, but not a big boat. And they had a plan to hit these different areas of southern Alaska because Gabe and his sister grew up there, and they went to the island that Gabe and his sister, grew up on, and they knew different places to dock and go see interesting things and like I don't. They went and saw an old iron ore, iron or gold mine town that isn't a tourist trap. It's in the woods, and you only know about it if you know about it.
Yeah.
And the machinery that was broken, and it was sitting there rusting. And Gabe he narrated the whole thing, and I could not be with seven people on a boat.
Yeah, it's funny because I have a friend who used to be in like a catamaran club, and I think that would be amazing. It comes with a chef and the captain and a first mate or whatever, and they take care of everything. But my friend was like, one bathroom. No, thank you.
Yeah,
I was like, one bathroom. No, thank you. I see. Maybe with family, I could do it. I think my sister, I could handle it with my sister. But okay, so one of my favorite books that I've read of during law school was about this couple that kayaked the inland passage from Alaska to Canada or back to, Vancouver or whatever. And it sounded like it was amazing. And I love kayaking and it's all about the planning they did. They sent ahead food, dried food to all these different stops along the way. It was an epic trip. And I love the idea of it, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't think so. I have a big fear of the ocean, so I don't think it would work for me.
yeah, me too. Sign me up for staying at home.
Eric and I will be here podcasting. Thank you very much.
I like the idea of canal boating because
Oh,
if you fall
yeah.
in the canal, like I think the canal is only 2 to 4 feet deep. You know.
Well, and that reminds me of when I went to Milan and it was raining and they were on strike and the Domo was covered up and they said, go to the canals. They're almost as good as the canals in Venice. And I got there and they were empty because they were cleaning them out.
Oh,
It was one of those trips.
oops.
Oops. But I did get to see The Last Supper, and that was absolutely amazing. And it was right when the Dan Brown book had come out, so that was like a highlight. That was it.
There's some.
But there was some.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
There's some interesting videos on YouTube by I don't know if they're art experts, but they explain how Leonardo drew the Last Supper and used
Oh,
is it called 3-point perspective? Anyway, it was one of the first paintings that used perspective in that way instead of really flat people on a surface.
oh, interesting. Well, another movie that we really like is um, about Vermeer, and it's about a man who's been obsessed with how Vermeer was able to do his paintings with such precision. And his working theory is that he used a camera obscura and painted them upside
Yep.
down using a lens.
That was a big thing back then. They could have a darkened room, and they had like a little pinhole. They'd cover the window and put a little pinhole in it, and that's essentially a lens, and it would project the outside upside down, and whatever you put outside. Yeah.
Yeah, it was that. What was the name of that? Vermeer's. So I'll look it up so we can put it in the show notes. But that movie, Brent and I watched that a long time ago, but we really loved that. And then something else about Alaska and going on the boats, but I don't remember what it was.
It was
Sorry.
no, I won't do that.
Yeah, it was no. I would love to do that, but no. Like another thing I'd love to do is kayak around islands in the Caribbean. I read it in like a travel magazine, I don't know, 30 years ago, and I saved the article. I've got the article. But again, with my fear, I'm not sure I can do it.
That's okay. There's plenty of other things to do in the world. So,
Hike on land, go to lakes.
hey, real quick, we all know that Eric has an Amazon store on Amazon. If you want to start your shopping there by going to our landing page, they call it storefront, they call it. Amazon.com/shop/garden fork. Check out the tools I suggest, generators, winter must-have stuff. Also, anything you buy there, we get an affiliate link for a finder's fee, plus also anything else you purchase that day on Amazon from starting from our page and going wherever in Amazon, we get a little finder's fee for that too. Helps pay the bills, super appreciate it. Make sure to shop local, go to your local hardware store, okay? But if you're going to Amazon, maybe try and use our link. That'd be great. Thanks.
All right, talk to me about your tires.
So we both own electric cars, and I have become not a car geek, but I'm very conscious of the range I'm getting with the battery and the motors actually in my car, because I drive a 150-mile trip on the weekends. And my first set of tires were from the manufacturer, and they were okay. They wore out fairly quickly. I used the Volkswagen electric car forum to pick the next ones, which were Continental All Seasons, which I ended up not liking. They were loud and they affected the range too much. So I found these. They're called Hankooks. They're Hankook Evos. I believe they're from South Korea. And on Tire Rack, I researched it and went to Tire Rack and bought them. And you can have them shipped to a local tire dealer that will put them on for you. There's mobile guys or people in vans that will pull up into your driveway and put your Tire Rack tires on. I mean, for a fee.
Oh,
Or you can send them to your mechanic. And I have a mechanic here in Brooklyn who I've been working with for years. And since I have the electric car, I only see him once a year for an inspection.
yeah.
And the inspection is $10, and it takes about 3 minutes because it's an electric car. So there's no emissions. So I'm like, well, I could just throw him some work, and that way we'll keep a good relationship when I come in for this $10 inspection that cost him more in labor than it does with the fee, you know.
Right.
So he put the tires on, and I get up on the highway, and at 70 miles an hour, the front end is shaking. So I drove at 65, which is fine. And then I came back, and I said, hey, there's this shake in the wheel. Okay, no problem, Eric. And this is New York City, so it's not like just pulling out of your driveway and going to the shop. It's losing your parking spot. You have to gauge when the best time is to get to your mechanic because there's no parking around where your mechanic's garage is because he's on the street too. So then you have to go
Not to
get the
mention
car
traffic.
and traffic. And I'm like, okay. So I brought it back and I said, hey, it shakes. Okay, Eric, no problem. We'll take care of it. And then they call at the end of the day and they're like, okay, the car's done. So then I have to go get it. I have to take the subway there, then come back, find a spot. And it sucks up a big part of your day. And then the car's been driving fine for 2 weeks. And I was in the driveway upstate and I was like, I should check the tire pressure of the new car, new wheels.
Yeah.
And the wheels, we've talked about this last time, the wheels are staggered, which means there are wider tires in the back than in the front. And Volkswagen calls for this because the bulk of the weight of the battery is in the back end of the car.
Okay.
And so it meets a certain weight rating. And I'm about to test the pressure and I'm like, that front tire is awful wide. And I look at the back tire and that tire is awful skinny.
Oh, no.
So they balanced the wrong wheels. maybe they balance the right wheels, and then they put the wrong wheels on. So at this point, I'm going to switch them myself. I mean, I have a floor jack and I have jack stands, and I can do it. It's just, if I was in the suburbs, I would just drive the car down and go, you need to fix this right now, and then drive back home. But in
Right.
Brooklyn, that's not easy.
It's a whole ordeal.
So the flip side of this is I talked to a local family-owned tire dealership, and they said, we can get any tire you want. It might be a little more than Tire Rack, but we offer free tire rotation and balancing. And if there's a warranty problem, we fix it. You don't have to ship the tires back to Tire Rack. So from now on, you can. What I would do is I would print out what I want on Tire Rack, go to the local dealer and say, "Can you get me these?"
Can you get?
You know.
I mean, honestly, our last tires we've gotten at Costco, and I have had great. I'm a long-term acolyte of Costco.
Yeah.
I think they're great, but the guy at the tire place was so. I'm not going to say he was rude to me, but he was dismissive. I was like, well, all right. I guess maybe he was just having a bad day, and I need to go try again.
Charitable assumption. Did you ask him about specific for electric car stuff?
Yeah, I asked. I was like, listen, I've got a Volvo, XC40. I know I need front new tires. He just was like, well, what kind do you need? And I was like, don't you have a database? I thought you had like a whole system. I didn't say that though. I was like, let me search it up. Let me tell you.
Wow.
So it was less than ideal, but that's fine. Again, he could have been having a bad day. Keep it moving.
There might be another person there some other day you go there.
Yeah, exactly. A different person. Who knows? But historically, they've been great, especially if you have a problem with your tire, they'll fix it.
Yes. The Costco near me in Brooklyn used to have the tire garage, and they closed that, and now the whole area is full of like toilet paper and paper towels. So
they got rid of your tires, man.
You can go to Queens, but again, to drive from here to Queens, it takes forever.
Yeah, how long does it take, really?
Probably 45 minutes.
Okay.
And you're crawling in
that's a
traffic.
hassle.
So
yeah, it's interesting. In California, not unlike New York, your life is really dictated by the traffic.
yeah, that's why I just take the subway everywhere. I walk. I walk a lot, and I really like that. But check out there. It's possible there's a local dealer. I would avoid. I don't know if Firestone will do that same kind of deal, and there are more and more tires specifically for electric cars coming out, which I really like.
Well, I do have a tire guy, Max Tire, and I'm sure you have this in New York City, but I love it. They're open 24 hours.
Yeah.
24/7, and you just roll in and they fix whatever your problem is, and then you roll out. I'm sure they would order the tires for me. They're great.
Yeah, there's a similar place on 4th Avenue, like 20th Street. Rafi's is called Rafi's. They'll patch your tire. And the last time I did it, it was like $10. I'm like, no,
$10.
Here's 20,
I know. And can you believe that?
Well, I don't think they own the building, or I just like, here's more money because you just saved my butt,
Well, apparently, I was listening to a podcast today. The kids these days in New York, drinks are so expensive when you go out that women are having their drinks split in half.
Yeah.
I was like, that never occurred to me. Wow.
Also, just lack of a better word, the young people are drinking a lot less,
Well, that too.
which I think is good.
It's definitely a net good health-wise, but I wonder what is lost in society when people are going out less and you don't have those shared experiences of, I don't know. I was contemplating that. Like, we need to find something else to fill our time with other than staring at our screen.
But there's a ton of, almost every bar in New York serves non-alcohol drinks now. They have non-alcohol beer. And we have a non-alcohol only bar here in the Berkeley of Brooklyn. It's called Mockingbird, like mock cocktail.
Cute.
And they have these really fancy cocktails with, smoked chips that they smoke the glass, and it's like and it's like $18. But they don't have athletic NA. They have local NAs, and they have some non-alcohol wines from Europe,
Yeah.
And we've been there a bunch, and there's always a bunch of young people in there. We're the oldest ones in there socializing. So, but
Well, that's good.
my friend in London, because we just went there, he said that the pubs outside of London are hurting because the drunk driving laws are so severe now that people don't go to the pub anymore.
Yeah, I think that makes sense, right?
But in every pub we went in, they had non-alcohol beer. So
Yeah, and there's some really good ones,
yeah, over there they had Heineken 00 and Peroni 00, and then two places had a local non-alcohol beer. It was brewed north of London somewhere. It was called Spike or something. Anyway, So I mean, we still go out. It's just I just order non-alcohol stuff.
Yeah, no, I agree. I just think there's something,
There is something
it's
missing there, yeah.
yeah, the inhibitions don't ever happen. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know.
yeah. Now memories are flooding back.
Uh-oh.
Eric in the East Village in the late 80s.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God. I love it. You were there like at the tail end of the
It was crazy.
cool art scene.
It was crazy. Yeah, but this is a family podcast, so we're going to stick with that.
We're going to stick with this. Okay, great. Hey, well, that was great.
Yes, this is wonderful. I would love it if you all have a thought, if you would record it on your phone and email it to us with the idea that we would play it, or if you have a question, we could play that in the podcast. There's several podcasts where the listeners do that, and I would kind of like that interaction. So send it to gardenfork87@gmail. Gardenfork87@gmail. And as long as it's family rated, we'll put it up here. All right, Nicole and I are going to stick around for the Patreon after show. We're going to hear more deep secrets of Eric's life. And we'll tangent for like 15 minutes. So, but thanks for being here. Always appreciate it. Make it a great day, and we will see you.
See you soon.
Garden Fork Radio is produced by Garden Fork Media LLC in Brooklyn, New York. The music in the show is licensed from audioblocks.com and uniquetracks.com.